All right, I want to clean up. I want to take these comments out. We know where our properties are now. We know that this is a constructor. This is a getter and a setter, a getter and a setter. Let's make another constructor. I want to point something out. Remember when we added this constructor that requires a name and an age, we could no longer create a dog. Try and create a second dog here. Dog 2 equals new dog. Originally, we had created a dog using this new dog command. And we didn't put anything in the parentheses. And it worked just fine. But the minute I created a constructor that required a name and an age, it won't let us do this anymore. So by default, Java always creates a default constructor. When we create the dog class, there was a default constructor there called dog. We couldn't see it, but Java creates it for us. And we can run that method even if it's not there. And it doesn't do anything. It instantiates the object, but it doesn't do anything as far as setting properties. But the minute we create one that requires us to have properties, that default one that Java does automatically disappears. It no longer exists. If we want to let people create a dog without a name and without an age, we can create a constructor that's empty, just like our default constructor was. It doesn't really do anything as far as setting any properties, but it exists now. Now that I have that, go ahead, I'll save it and come back over here. Now look, I can create a dog without actually setting the dog's properties. So the question, well, there's a couple questions that come up here. First of all, do I want people to be able to create a dog without giving them a name and an age? Well, that kind of depends on the program we're making and what our business model is. If our business model says, hey, that we need to keep track of dog's name and age when they come into our facility, then we probably don't want to do this. But if we don't have a reason not to, I mean, we could do it. But why would we want to create a dog with no name? Maybe for this default constructor, we just say, we set a default value like unknown. We don't know this dog's name. Maybe we run a dog rescue, and when the dog comes in, we don't know the name. So we want to create a dog with the name set to unknown. We could do that. Now I have two constructors here. Both methods have the exact same name. How does Java know which one to run? Well, it matches up the parameters. So when I say new dog, and I pass it in a string followed by an int, it looks for dog that requires a string and an int. This one would not match that pattern, so it doesn't run. This one does match the pattern, so this is the one that Java will run for us. So it determines it from the order and type of parameters. This idea of using two methods with the exact same name is called overloading. So we have overloaded this method. There is more than one method with the exact same name, dog. They're both constructors in this case, so we have overloaded constructors. People can create a dog by not specifying anything, in which case it sets the name to unknown. And since I didn't specify for age, when ints are declared, they automatically get set to 0 in Java. When strings are created, they get set to null. So that's kind of why it might be important to set it to unknown by default. We could do a third constructor if we wanted. Let's do a third constructor. Public dog. Say we want to require a dog's age. Oops. We can make a method here that requires the age. And we can say this dot age equals age, just like we have been. So somebody, when they create a dog, can just, now there's a constructor available where somebody can say new dog and just pass in an age. It'll set the field to match the parameter. And we can say this dot name equals unknown. All right. Now I have 3 constructors for my dog. Still overloading. A little space there. I have 3 different constructors for a dog. I can create a dog by not specifying anything, in which case his name will be unknown, his age will end up at 0. I can create a dog by saying new dog and passing in just an age, in which case the age will be set. His name will be set to unknown. Or I can create a dog by passing in a name and an age, and both of the fields will be set. And it really depends on our business model. What is our program required to do? Do we want to let people create one with unknowns? Do we want to let people create a dog that doesn't have an age set? Or do we want to provide those things? We can provide 1, 2, 3, as many different constructors as we want, all with the exact same name, as long as the parameter list is different. So remember, Java is going to match up the parameters with matching parameters in our constructors. What if I tried to create another parameter that required a string and an int? It would not work. We cannot do that. It won't allow us. So what if I did this? Public dog. String breed followed by an int for age. I immediately get this message that says constructor for dog with a string and an int is already defined in the dog class. So I can't do it that way. How could I get around that? Well, maybe I should put age first and then breed. But we're not keeping track of breeds. So we did some overloading. Method overloading. We did it with the constructors, so these are overloaded constructors. We can create a dog in any one of these ways. Oh, let's go do that. I didn't actually instantiate one that way. Let's go over here. I created Fido. Okay. Here we have Fido. That was dog 1, right? Dog 2 equals new dog. Let's copy these things that are printing out information about Fido. This time, we'll print out dog2.getName. So we've created 2 dogs from the same class, and dog2.getAge. In this case, the dog's name is unknown, because remember our default constructor right here, we set it to set the dog's name to unknown if they didn't pass in any information. And the dog's age is 0 because we never set it. If I want to, let's create a new dog and pass in 5 for the age. Now it's going to run this constructor, set the age. So the dog's name is unknown and the dog's age is 5. So all of those constructors work. And we match them up based on the parameter list, matching the type and order.